Hello everyone, welcome to the fifth lecture on CSS from Basic Uni. So in this lecture we will learn about styling our forms. So to learn about it, I have basically created this form using HTML. So you can create this form on your own, or if you're stuck anywhere you can just refer to this code. It is displayed over here. So basically what we are doing is we created a form and then action. We don't need to specify the action because we are not doing any things at the back end now. So we created a h1 tag for payment and a contact information, and then we wrote the required fields are followed by star, and then we have this p tag, and then we took the input of type text, and then we use this one field set. And then inside this we have not learned about the field set and legend, so you can just go through it. Field set and legend. So basically what it gives is, you can see it over here. We can see that, so this is designed in this way using the field set. So that is the use of the field set. And the next thing we have used is address. For the address we have used the tag text area and columns of 50 and rows of 10, and then we have taken the email, the input of type email, and the pin code is basically is of type number, so we have mentioned the type as number. And for the payment information what we have is, for the payment information we have this select input type, and then we are taking the type of the card. So basically here we have mentioned required because you cannot submit your form without filling those values. You can see here also we have mentioned required. So all the fields that have mentioned as required should be filled anyway. So if the user doesn't fill the particular field, means the form cannot be submitted. So that is the use of it. Or we can just see like this, if you don't enter anything, and you can see that if I click pay now, this was giving some warning like please fill out this field. So this is the use of the required. And then we have used the card number. So expiration date, so for the expiration date the input is of type date. And then for the CVV is kind of a confidential thing, or we can say it as a password kind of thing. So we have used the type as password, and then we have used the input type as submit for the button pay now. And so this is our form. You can build it on your own. And then for this form what we are doing is we are applying some CSS. As we are seeing it over here, this form is not looking like a good form, right? For this we have to give some styling to make it look good. So for that, what I will do is, let me just create a new file. So what I will name it is, I will name it as, let's name it payment.css. So first thing we have to do is we have to link it over here. Use the link and then href payment.css. So I hope that you understand this one. These are all the basic tags we have already learned, and till now we have used these tags many number of times. So, and let's begin with making our this web page beautiful. So for that what I will do is I will use this universal selector first. And for inside this, what we can just do is we can give the box sizing. We have learned the CSS box model, so this is it. And we can give the border box. And the next thing, this is it. This is the sizing we gave. And then let's focus on the body now. So I don't think this font is looking good. So you can keep any font. I will change it to some font family. You can, as we know that you can also download some fonts from Google. So let's make it cursive and see. Uh, that looks good. And then what we can do is, let's say margin. Let's give some margin. It is overlapping here. So for that, what we can do is, let's give the margin of 15 pixel and 30 pixel. So this is the margin, and let's give our font size. Um, Font size, let's give it as 17 pixel. Or what you can do is, if you see that your font size is not good, you want to try it on yourself. So what you can just do it, you can go here and then you can see the stylings over here. Here we can see these stylings have been applied. You can just change the font size here. Let's make it to, if you make it to 50 pixel, you can see a huge difference has been applied. So or you can just make it 15 pixel. You can make changes over here. So this is how basically developers work. Developers, what they do is they will inspect and they make changes here, and then what they will do is they will just copy this entire thing, this body. They will copy this and paste it on their code editor. So that is what the software developers do. And what we can do here, we can give the padding, mm, let's say 8 pixel. That does not look good. I think this font size is kind of large. Let's just keep it 15. And margin looks good, I think. Um, Padding is also good. I think I should decrease the padding a little. 6, or we can just make it 4 pixel. So yeah, that looks good. And then what we can just do is, um, that's it. And then we will work on the container. So where is the container? You can go, let's see, where is our container? So here in this code, I have added a class of container, class named container. So for that, basically, we are working here. So for the container, let's give the background color. Observed is I have not created the class named container. So we can just create it now. Div container. So let's add this div at the end of our form. We just wrapped it and we will style this entire thing now. So let's give the background color. Um, Selecting the background color is basically the most difficult thing. Let's give any color and we will change it using the color picker. That is looking very bad now. So We will just change it. Uh, Pinkish kind of color. So that looks good now. That looks like a form now. So here we can see that this is kind of, so what we can just do it, we can increase this 8 to 8 pixel, and then what we can just do is yeah, that looks good. So the next thing we can do is for this container, let's change the padding. So the padding is, let's give it 5 pixel from the top and 20 pixel from the right and 15 pixel from down. And then what we could just do it also from the left, 20 pixel from the left. So as I had said, this works in the clockwise. And then border, let's give some border, small border, 1 pixel. Let's make it solid, and let's give it light gray. So yeah, this is it. And then what we could just do it, we see that in our form this is looking good now, but if I make it like this address is going outside, right? For that, what I can just do is, where is this address? Here it is, text area. We can just decrease some number of columns. So that looks good now, or we can just make it 45. Yeah, that's good now. And then let's go back here and let's make the border radius. Let's make it to 4 pixel. So I think we have not studied about this border radius. Border radius will make changes over here at the edges, you know. You observe the form. If I uncomment this, you can see that this has been curved here, our form. So that is basically how the border radius works. And I think for now, this is enough for our container. We can make changes over a period of time if it requires. So let's change for the input now. Uh, let's change for the input type of text. Input of type text, and then instead of writing, let me just get these things set down. Then we should change to the input of type email, and then let's change it to number, and then let's change it to password. And one more thing we have is date, right? So we could change for all this. One more thing is we should add commas here. For all of this, we should add the commas, and then the next thing is for select also let's apply, and for text area also let's apply these styling. And then what I want to just make is I want to make the width, no, here I should not give the comma, right? That's why it was not working. So we should give the width, let's give it as 100%. You can observe the changes happening over here. So that would be clearly visible now. And then we give the width 100%. The next thing we can give is, let's say, padding. I will give it as 12 pixel. I have actually tried all these values before, these pixels values. That's why I'm kind of building a proper web page. Okay, so you may get confused, right? While building, you may give some values here that might be aligning to the expected difference over here. So for that, what you can just do is you can try different values and understand. Next thing we will give is border. Let's give the border of 1 pixel. Border is solid, and then let me just give this one. Yeah. So and then let's give the border radius also. Border radius around 5 pixel. So that is it. You can see the difference applied over here. Uh, Below this name, the field spacing we have is right. Here you can see this is turned to curve. It was earlier this type, and now it has been turned to, it has got the radius. So we can do over here is, let's just delete the extra spaces to make our code look good, and then let's work on this one. We have not made changes to this, right? We had used field set, I think. Yeah, we had used field set for this gender, and we have not make any changes over there. So for that, type is equal to submit, and then um what I will do is, here I will work on the pay now first. What I will do is, when I hover this, I want some changes to be applied over there. So what we hover, we know the property hover, and then this, let's give some background color, this aquamarine color. So you can see that if I hover on this, the changes have been applied here, right? So yeah, before this hover property, we can make some more changes to this, right? So what we can just do is input for the type of, submit. For the type of submit, what we can just do is, let's give some background color. Let's give this aquamarine itself, and then we will make it little darker. We will make it little darker. You can observe here. Yeah, that looks good now. And then what I can just make is color. Let's give it to white. This is now black. So let's make it white. And then let's give some padding for this. So let's give 12 pixel and 20 pixel. And then what I can do is border radius. Border radius. Let's give it as 4 pixel. And then cursor. So you can see there is a property named cursor, you can change the properties of cursor. So my recorder basically don't uh, record this cursor also, so you can create it on your own and see. If you hover on this cursor, you can see all scroll, zoom in, zoom out, grabbing, all these are the type of the cursor. So I will just keep it as pointer because that looks good. And later, this is very small now. We can make it larger. Let's increase the width. Let's make it 100%. Yeah, that looks good now. Or you can just make it some 80% or anything, but this looks good now, so I'm not making any changes over there. So our form is kind of looking good now, but we have to work on a lot of things. We have not done any changes to this, so we will work on it now. So this comes at the last. Basically, we should have written this code at the last. And here we want the field set. I want to apply the changes for our field set property. I mean field set tag. Let's give the background color as let's give this. This is basically #ff. So this basically gives this kind of whitish color. Okay. So the next thing is border. Um, yeah, this is still the square kind of thing, right? We have to give some border and let's give it as 1 pixel. Border as 1 pixel solid. Let's give it #cc. So that looks good now, but we should still add the border radius. Let's see what we have given here, 5 pixel. We will give the same value here, 5 pixel. So yeah, that looks good now. That looks good now. We will create one more class. So basically we can create one more class here. Let's go to here and then here for our h1, where is our h1? Here it is payment form. For this, let's add a class. Let's name it as main heading. Okay, we will work on the main heading now. We will go to our CSS, and what I can just do over here is we will apply the changes for our main heading, right? So for that, I will just main heading. And for the main heading, what I want to do is, this is at the side, right? This is at the very side. So if it was at the center, it would look very pretty, right? So for that, what we can just do is, we know the property named text property named text align. I will just make it to center. So after this, let's see if our form looks good now. Let's see if we still need any changes to our form. Uh, well, yeah, that is it. Our form looks good now. You can just go here and you can add the names, add all the values. You can select the date and you can add the CVV, that is in the format of password, and you can select the card type and you can add this address over here, right? So this is how you can make changes to your web page. You can make many changes over there. So yeah, that is how it basically works. What we just did is main heading. It has not applied to here. The reason is that we have written the wrong class. So this is it. So now our form looks more good. Let's see if we can make some changes. Still some changes here. Let me delete all this content. What we can just do here is, we can add a placeholder. See, we have this attribute named placeholder. Here, what you can just write is enter your name. Enter your name. See, that is reflected here. If you type anything, if you type anything, that is gone. So that is the work of the placeholder. So we can add the placeholder here also for the address. What I can just do is type placeholder. I can write enter your full address. So yeah, we can do it for the email as well. We can go here as we see that all these fields are required, and I will just write placeholder. Please enter your email. And that is it. It is reflected over here. So let's see that this is of the type number, right? So let's see if we can add the placeholder here also. Placeholder, and let's say so basically that looks good. If we have this kind of thing, placeholder, it will be easier for the user to understand what he should enter. So we can also add it for the car type. You can just, sorry, not for the car type, for the card number. You can just do it on your own, and you can also make changes for this web page. You can add few more fields if you want, and you can just play with all the styles and make changes over there. As long as you build your website on your own, you learn it. Okay, so this is the best way to learn building web pages.